I'm Ken Smith, a fully qualified skier. My name is Ken Smith. I run Progression Ski and Snowboard School in Val d'Isere. I've been here for 17 seasons. My name is Ken Smith. I've been here in Val d'Isere for 17 seasons and I run and manage Progression Ski and Snowboard School. I'm a fully qualified. My name is Ken Smith. I run Progression Ski and Snowboard School in Val d'Isere. I've been here for 17 seasons. I'm a fully qualified ski instructor. I also teach snowboarding and telemark. Well, the two courses that we run. For the courses, there's basically two time frames. One is 11 weeks and the other is for the whole season. They more or less cover three simple the courses cover two time frames. One is 11 weeks and one is for the whole season. Within those options, there are three options. One is just performance course, where you're being coached throughout that period. The other is with a BASI 1 qualification, which allows you to teach on indoor ski centres and dry slopes in the UK. And then the third option would be with the BASI 1 and the BASI 2 qualification. That is the first alpine qualification that allows you to work actually in the Alps and on the mountain. The BASI qualifications most GAP providers offer you either the Canadian qualification or the British qualification, BASI, which is the courses that we run. The main reason we run the BASI qualifications is that most GAP providers most GAP courses offer either the Canadian qualifications or the British qualifications. So most GAP course providers offer either the Canadian qualification or the British qualification for ski instructors. Most GAP providers offer either the Canadian or the British qualifications for ski and snowboard courses. Most GAP course providers offer either the British or the Canadian qualifications for ski and snowboard. Most GAP providers offer either the British or the Canadian systems. We offer the British system for our ski and snowboard qualifications. The main reason for that is that the BASI qualifications are generally more recognised in Europe in particular. The Canadian qualification, for example, is fine in Australia, New Zealand, North America and Canada, and even some European resorts, but generally the British qualification is recognised throughout the world. And if you are going to carry on with qualifications in the future, then undoubtedly BASI is the better system to do. Yeah, I think both the Canadian and the British systems have the. Yeah, I think both systems have their. Actually, both systems are very good, and the reality is. Yeah, both the Canadian system and the British system, BASI, are very good. There's no question of that. It's just that I think both the Canadian and the British systems are very good. The reason we offer BASI qualifications is that, generally speaking, it's more recognised throughout the world, and particularly in Europe, where almost all our GAP course students are going to come from and probably going to live in the future. So it makes a lot of sense. The Canadian system is very good. It's recognised in North America, Canada and the States, Australia, New Zealand and some European countries. But the BASI qualification is recognised throughout Europe. And certainly if you're looking for, say, a part-time job at university or just locally, you're far more likely to find work in a snow dome or on a dry slope if you have a BASI qualification than if you have a Canadian qualification. Yeah, my name's Ken Smith. I run Progression Ski and Snowboard School in Val d'Isere, and I've been here for 17 seasons. I'm a fully qualified BASI instructor, and I also teach snowboarding and telemark as well. I'll be running the course in Val d'Isere. The two courses generally. I'll be running the course on a day-to-day basis. I'll get involved slightly with the coaching, but predominantly from. The course is run within two time frames, basically 11 weeks or the full season. Within those two time frames we have three options. One's a performance course where you're just being coached. This is generally a great improver course and interesting to people who really aren't interested in. The courses we run are basically 11 weeks or for the full season. Within those two time frames we have three options. The performance course is generally for people who aren't interested in getting a qualification but really want to boost their skiing and get a lot out of the season. So that's fantastic. They're going to be coached. The courses we offer basically run on two time frames, 11 weeks and for the full season. Within those two time frames we have three options. The performance course, which is really for people who aren't interested in getting a qualification but really want to boost their skiing or snowboarding and really enjoy the whole season and not just be here for the season but really or a long period of time but really improve their performance. The second course is basically with a BASI 1 qualification. That qualification allows you to teach in snow domes and on dry slopes in the UK. And then the full programme includes the BASI 2 qualification. And that will be your first alpine qualification, which will allow you to work on the big mountains in Europe. Of course, there are certain. The two time frames are basically 11 weeks and for the full season. Yeah, the courses that we run, basically, the courses that we run, it's basically 11 weeks or full season. So 2 time frames, and within those 2 time frames, there's 3 options. The first option is the performance course, where you're coached very regularly, and this is really suited to people who aren't actually interested in getting a qualification, but want to come out and do a season and really improve their performance in skiing or snowboarding. The second option is with a BASI 1 qualification. BASI 1 qualification allows people to work in the dry slopes or the snow domes within the UK. And then the third option is with the BASI 1 and the BASI 2. The BASI 2 qualification allows you to work in some of the alpine nations, alpine countries in Europe. So it is predominantly for people who are really looking for a bit more structure and a bit more focus, but all 3 offer. Yeah, the course is run within 2 time frames basically. The first one is the 11-week option, and the second one is for the full season. The 11-week option is pretty much all-inclusive, and the seasonaire one is. Yeah, the courses that we run out here basically work within 2 time frames, 11 weeks and for the full season. The 11-week period starts early mid-January and runs through to the end of March, and the seasonal one starts late November or early December, right through till the end of the season, of course. The 11-week course is more all-inclusive, and the seasonal one we actually try and find work for you, part-time work predominantly at the weekends or evenings in bars or with transfer companies, for example. Within those 2 time frames, there are then 3 options. The 3 options are the performance course, which is basically just involves coaching, being coached. This is really suited to people who don't really have an interest in becoming a ski instructor or want a qualification out of the season or the 11 weeks, but really want to boost their performance in skiing or snowboarding. The second option is with the BASI 1 qualification for either skiing or snowboarding again. And the BASI 1 option, that really gives you the chance to work in the UK in the indoor snow domes and on dry slopes, for example. And then the third option is with the BASI 1 and the BASI 2 qualification. The BASI 2 qualification is basically the first qualification that will allow you to work in some of the European alpine resorts. So that's a bit more structure to that course, but all 3 offer a lot of flexibility and really a great value for money. If you look around, I think we've got some fantastic coaches within the ski school, and we pull in fantastic coaches